are now with Demigod.
This is why I'm hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Amber was playing that song yesterday when he walked in the house, and I said, "Why are you listening to Mims?" And he's like, "Oh no, I thought this was a Jamaican version one."
Ah,
That's not okay either.
I mean, but it's not okay to play "This Is Why I'm Hot"? It's a throwback. You wasn't singing that song back in the day.
There's a difference between a throwback and
That's
a
like,
and a leave back.
What was this shit? With the,
So that song come on.
Why
Santi, what
is
was
it
it?
You at a
feedback?
wedding.
You cleaning the house. You not throwing that out.
This is why I'm hot.
Yo,
Yeah.
There's certain songs that I'm okay with them shits and never boomerang.
So you're at a wedding, right?
Uh-huh.
You're at a wedding. You know, you're 33 at a wedding. You hear "This Is Why I'm Hot." Come on, at the wedding. I'm like, oh shit. You down like 5 cups of tequila. You know what I'm saying? Enjoying
But see,
yourself.
that's the only time it's appropriate to walk into your house and hear that because you're playing it. That's not an
No,
appropriate time.
that song
What if
wasn't
you,
good
like,
when it
clean
was
the
popular.
house?
So
Or like you just
don't
throw
think
it
it's
out.
just-
You know what I want to hear?
Like I don't know.
I don't
like, you
ever want to
just-
hear no flow
you
rider
just-
at
Mims
your
is your
wedding.
cleaning
You
vibe.
just
Like,
no. You just throw it.
dude, that's
on.
like hearing "Do
It's
Your
like-
Chang Hang Low."
That song come on, you're not gonna be like,
I promise you, I'm changing
Right.
it.
Promise you.
in the wedding?
Promise you.
I agree with
There's
Chris.
certain songs that like
No, not in a wedding. Maybe not in a wedding, but it's like certain songs where it's like it served its purpose for that time period, and I'm good on it.
Okay. I mean,
Like I don't care how old I get.
yeah.
Soldier Boy, Superman,
You know
I'm good on it.
That's
always.
played at my wedding.
You get me?
That's played at my wedding. The rest of them, nah.
You
Soldier
see
Boy,
Superman into your wedding.
we're gonna We're gonna do
there's
everything.
certain songs that I don't understand why they get the respect that they do. Like that "Sugar How You Get So Fly" song. When that shit first came out by Baby Bash, that shit was ass. And then now be coming on, like I came out at a bar like over the summer, and they were like, "Oh, like throwback." And I'm like, "This song was fucking ass then. It's ass now."
But you thought it was ass. What about
I
everyone
like
else?
that song.
No, I
feel like
I
I'm
said that's why I said
singing a song in my
I don't
head. I'm like,
understand
wait,
why
I
it
like
gets
that
recognition.
song. I don't know who you're talking about.
Huh?
I said, it's a song that I'm singing in my head. I feel like
"Sugar How You Get So Fly."
Yeah.
Yeah, we like that song, Asante.
That's fine. That's why
What's
I
the
said
rest?
I
of
don't
the,
understand
only
why
like
I
one
get
line of the
respect.
song.
That's all I was singing in my head is that.
I don't know.
I don't know anything else.
It doesn't continue. Sugar, how you get so fly?
Talking
It
about
just
that song,
stops
right?
Yeah.
there.
You don't like that song?
That song is terrible.
You just put that in this. You went from "Do Your Chain Hang Low" to that song.
I mean, Do You Chain Hello
that's really
is hard.
That's why I said the certain songs
What
that
about-
I don't understand.
Do You Chain Halo?
Yeah.
It's a fire song.
Nah, bro. I'm just telling. It's certain songs you just hear in a time
Alright.
period. Like you're
Speed
a jerk.
round. Speed round.
I'm never gonna be this.
Speed
I'm
round.
never gonna put that.
Laffy Taffy.
Yes.
I could
Yeah.
rock that.
I'm so crispy. Yes. That's
Can
all
rock
hard. That's all hard.
Hey, baby.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a.
Nuck if you buck.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
not even a question. That's
Yeah.
100. That's a go right now.
You should have played that at the verses.
I
Word.
did.
You did?
Did I?
No, I don't remember.
I think I did. That's one of the ones I won. Yes, I
Okay.
did. So, you know what I'm saying. Damn. Give me some more.
Birdwalk.
Nah, I don't know what the hell that is.
Pulling Me Back.
What? Who? By who?
Every time I lie to try to leave. Chingy, nigga.
Oh.
But that song is fire.
I mean, we throwing out old songs.
Nah,
How about
that's-
one?
but that's
How
like
about
a
One
good
Wish?
song.
One Wish.
Nah, that's like you might as well say like One Wish is fire. That's like saying Chicken Head.
What about Chicken Noodle Soup?
No.
Yeah, no.
Nah.
They give me You're a Jerk. No,
No,
like
no,
those
no,
songs.
no.
It was
No,
good. It
no.
was
Snap
cool.
back and tattoo.
Yeah, like
Oh, yeah, you're
those
a
songs
wild-
are cool
you're
for
a
that time
wildin'.
period. But like once you get past a certain time period, it's just like
Yeah, no. Chicken noodle soup. All the dancing songs that they
I'm
throw.
good on
You're not gonna play a Dizzle at your wedding?
Santi gonna play the Cat Daddy.
Only the
His wedding.
classics.
That boy used to be hitting that
Might go
shit.
crazy.
Sure. No, but like, even not like that. I'd be like, I'd have to be like 10 in to maybe get like some type of vibe off of that. Like,
Nah, like, I don't know. I just feel like there's certain music that's just for the time. I guess it was good. But then when you just like, nah, you really don't gotta revisit
What did Drake's dad say?
like you had to be there.
He said, what did Drake's dad say? He said, all that other bullshit is here today and gone tomorrow. Like, only good music gonna last.
Yeah.
All the other bullshit is here today and gone tomorrow.
Cause I don't know, bro. There's just certain songs like
What artist right
I'm not
now,
listening to.
what artist right now you think is popular, but when their time is done, it's done?
There's a couple.
Everyone on top.
Trinidad James.
I mean, right now, like,
Already happened.
who's popping? Who's popping right now?
But you know what's crazy? I've seen him in interviews. Side note, I've seen him in a couple of interviews, and I feel like everybody talks about. I mean, you should talk about yourself that way, especially if it's publicly. But like, he thinks of himself as like game changer.
He was it, yeah. I
Like,
said nigga 10 times in a row. Ain't nobody did that before.
like, don't get me wrong. What you did at your time when you had the limelight, cool. Like, you took advantage of that. You had your own style. You definitely did your own little thing.
yeah,
with that.
this was
It was
that.
different. But like,
artist
no, I'm not-
now.
he had a little period. But after
Artist
that,
rapping
I'm
right now.
That I see like their music fading away.
Playboy Cardi.
Yup.
Nah, he has a cult following.
No, yeah, no.
Literally a cult following. Them niggas might
Yeah.
be up to some shit.
I apologize to anyone I offended. I'm gonna just start naming people. Gunna.
No. All right, why are we starting?
Just start naming people.
Nah, I'm trying to.
I didn't want
figure
to
out,
browse. Freddie Gibbs.
I don't know. It's a bunch of little.
You're naming good people. Start.
I'm just naming people.
You can't
Nah,
start
but
with
I-
good
I
people.
feel like
all right,
he-
I
he's
got
not
one.
even
I got
the person that's like
YK Osiris. His shit is out of here.
Yeah.
I barely remember his songs right now.
Gone.
Who is that?
Gone.
He owe a lot of niggas money.
Yeah.
Yo, why?
Oh,
is,
that
is
nigga.
that real?
No, I think it's just a bit they be doing, honestly.
Nah, I think the baby
'Cause,
shit
like,
was real.
2 Chainz walked up to him. He's like, "You got that money?" He's like, "Yeah, I got it." Oh, yeah. It's
No,
just-
I think baby shit was real.
no. He really owed a little bit money. Yeah, for a fact.
I don't think he going nowhere.
Oh my god, it's gonna be a forever.
YBN Namir, his shit is gone.
Wow.
Wow.
Corday
gonna last.
Corday
feel
is
me?
nice.
Corday's
Corday's
nice.
nice.
That's why he dropped
He
that
make, he
group.
make good music.
The other
know, I
one,
feel like there's a lot of
YBNJ,
people-
his shit is gone.
Lil Tecca.
Lil Pump gone.
Pump, gone.
Nigga, he about
Most
to,
of the Lils,
he about to be
6ix9ine.
gone. He about to be gone to the
that's what I'm saying. A lot of
IRS.
little rappers. A lot of them.
6ix9ine music is already gone. Nigga.
I'm just saying.
His shit is not sanctioned above
I
nowhere.
haven't heard this shit in public ever again
You
since
gotta
that one
sneak
summer.
his music.
He had a summer though. He ran that one summer. Wow.
I don't know about that.
Nah, bro. I went
I
to
was playing
every,
songs, though,
every
for-
party I went to.
The
it was fun.
equivalent of his music, like, you know how to have like fast fashion now?
Yeah.
It's like Fashion Nova and shit. That was the equivalent to his music career for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this is fast music. Did someone clearly put a lot of money into
You
this?
saying Fashion Over done with?
No, I'm saying it's a.
I'm joking.
You're annoying. It's just like the same thing with the Whoop-Dee kid, the CJ thing. It's like, all right, someone put money into him. They gave him a song. They're gonna put. He's gonna put out a couple songs. They're all gonna be bangers, and then that's dumb.
Yeah, that
Bro.
song is gone.
La Mama. His verse on that is the worst shit I've ever heard in my life, bro. Like, yo, he's supposed to be Spanish, right?
I don't know what it is.
He got on that song, said, whooped it. I'm in the club. It's a movie. It got me hot, yo. Yo, he was.
Isn't that what he said in the other song?
Who wouldn't get that dish? She got it? What did he say?
Isn't that what he said in the other song?
Yes, but it's like you got on a Dominican banger. The song's a banger and did the worst verse ever, bro. How do you get on a Al Alpha song and do that? Like, you have to be out of your mind.
You could have just left that.
Shit threw me on that shit, boy.
That shit crazy.
The tough thing about music though is that like people will make music with the intent for like, all right, this is gonna be a bang. Like I remember Fabio saying that like when he first came out, he's like, I'm gonna drop one album, it's gonna be done. It's gonna be the most legendary album ever. And Fabio's a good rapper, but the album he dropped, it wasn't a good album.
Who, Favo?
Fabio.
I didn't hear it.
So like that can't be your only body of work because you have more progression to do. And you're not at the peak for your first album. Like you have people like Jay-Z, yeah, his first album is legendary. But then he also has 2-3 albums away. You go to a Blueprint or you go to a Black Album and it's like, oh no, these are classics and he's getting better with time. Like you have to give yourself that. So people will think that they can make something like, oh, this is gonna be it for the time period. Like this is gonna be a classic, it's gonna be this. But it's almost like the people that make unintentional music, that should be the stuff that's like, all right, this is always gonna be encapsulated in that time period, and it's always gonna be like a classic.
But I feel like the people who are making unintentional music, they're making music because they're like a creative person.
Yeah,
It's like an outlet for them or whatever.
Yeah.
Instead of the person that's just like, I'm doing something crazy. They're trying to break like a number instead of breaking through with the passion kind of. So like everybody that I know that I appreciate as artists, they wanted to make it. They wanted to be this big thing because they enjoyed this thing, not because it was like I'm trying to get to the money aspect of it. Like that fame and all that stuff is gonna come. People were like, I want to be the best rapper. I want to be the best basketball player. Like, so that passion that you put into like that repetition goes a long way, and you start to learn from a lot of your failures and stuff with that. So like, for you to just think that you're gonna have one album, and I just started this like 6 months ago, and I got a #1 song. Like, there's a lot more work that you still have to do.
Yeah.
A lot of work.
To be relevant.
Because even like Babyface was someone who was rapping for 1 year and blew up. He kept going. That's what I say. He just kept going, bro. He just didn't stop.
Yeah.
And you could quickly see his progression too, and the type of people that he was like getting around and working with. It's like a lot of that stuff is gonna rub
He
off
probably
on
learned so much, bro.
Yeah.
He was on a Drake song in his first year and a half of rapping. That's crazy,
him. Nah, we gotta get off of rappers. I've been on an R&B kick.
bro. R&B's dead.
Not just R&B, but I feel like rhythmic music.
R&B's dead.
R&B.
What?
I'm just talking about rhythmic music. First off, that's a cap. And
Yeah, I don't.
I listen.
Do you
to
know
a
how
lot
many
of,
good
like,
R&B artists there are
I
now?
like
Name
listen to a lot of indie.
Lucky Day, Kiana Lede,
It's a different type
Callie
of R&B.
Uklis.
And it's like a broad range too, because there's
What?
like
R&B's
Afrobeat,
that
there's
you're
like Thames.
crazy.
When was
She's
the
doing
when was the
Afro,
last
she's
time the
doing
R&B
R&B.
genre had a Chris Brown or Usher?
Who's looking for that?
Chris, yeah, it's literally a
I don't
different.
give a
That's
fuck about
but
neither
that's
one of them
but-
dancing across the
But that's
floor.
what I'm talking about though. When I say it's dead, I don't mean like there's no talent in it. I
Nah,
meant dead as a genre. Like
I think
they
it's
have no
evolved past
superstars.
something. Nah,
You're
it's evolved to
bug-
something
Who's a
else.
superstar?
It's
Bugging.
evolved to something else.
Summer Walker literally is a superstar now, bro.
Okay.
You're
else?
bugging. You're what's the name? That on my mind.
Khaled.
No,
Huge.
Khaled.
But is he pop?
What's shorty's
He's
name?
pop.
Why I
He's
can't
an
remember
R&B
her name right now?
artist.
He's R&B.
Yeah.
I would consider him pop.
But I'm saying there's a lot of people that can cross over though. So
Yeah,
what is
I mean like
But
a
Kehlani,
strictly
too.
like
Hold
a
on.
Usher. Like when was the last time we had an Usher or a? I'm not gonna say his name, but you know who I'm thinking of. I'm not gonna say his
But
name,
you listen
that's-
to Giveon?
but he's not Usher. But he's not blowing up like
But
that.
that's straight R&B.
No, I don't mean
I'm not gonna
talent. I know
lie,
that.
don't
I know
like
it's.
Giveon's music.
No way.
Snow Allegra.
Oh,
don't
she's
know.
nice,
Fire.
but her last album didn't do too well.
It don't matter.
But
No, but
No, but
that
that's what I
sounds
mean.
really
I know
good.
they have a lot of talent. I mean, in terms of like a superstar selling albums and killing the game with R&B is not happening right now.
But that's not even a thing anymore though.
I feel like people don't
What you
really
mean?
wanna.
That no one's trying to package an artist like that anymore.
R&B, I'm saying. But
No,
why?
I'm just no.
It's not
But
just R&B.
that
All those
wasn't-
artists is doing everything.
Yeah, and that was never the pinnacle of that genre.
Even The Weeknd left R&B.
Yeah, but
He's in
he
pop
was.
now.
I don't even think he really ever made.
But
R&B
so I have a
music.
question. If pop music just means popular, isn't whatever popular? Pop?
Nah, you know, like those pop beats.
No, pop isn't
Like,
just popular.
ooh, I'm
It's
blinded
like
by the lights. Like, you know that shit.
I get the like the musicality change and
Yeah.
the difference in pop. But pop music is popular music, correct?
But
I don't think that's what
no.
it's short for.
Yeah, no, I think it is, but it's its own category now. You know, it became something. Maybe back in the day, but now it's like, you know, when you like Flo Rida was a pop rapper. He's not a rapper. You know what I'm saying? No
He's
disrespect
different.
if you're up to it.
his music is just I'm like I could never. I don't think if I got in your car and you was like hardcore bumping a Flo Rida album.
That person probably live in the suburbs.
What if I'm wearing apple bottom jeans and boots with the vert?
I'm just saying.
Is that
like,
put at your wedding?
That's
Nah.
I can't name an album for him. Like he's a person who is, but that's a good thing though because he's so well known.
And he's like, yeah, I'm from
But I
Florida,
can't-
so I just split in the middle, so it's Flo Rida. I said, this nigga's crazy.
Wait, for real?
Yes, you know.
That's amazing.
He's from Florida.
That's super clever.
So he's like a Flo Rida.
That's hard.
You never seen the...
Think
No,
about
I knew that. I'm surprised that he didn't.
think about how
know
many
that. I
rappers
wasn't
that
sure
came
if
out
he
of
was trolling
Florida
or not.
never thought of that idea.
Yeah, and they're way more successful than he is. Thank God Rick Ross didn't think of that.
I'm not gonna lie. I confused Flo Rida and Nori for the longest.
Who's
OD.
Nori? Who's
OD,
Nori?
Amani, don't do that.
Who's Nori?
Noriega? You know who Noriega.
Oh
Drink
yeah,
Champs,
yeah,
Drink
yeah,
Champs.
drink champs.
Oh, the rapper? Let's do that first.
Didn't
Well,
so?
I mean, he's in the podcasting world, so I was a quick, reference. And as far as his music,
Yeah,
what time are we at?
What would you remember for now? What can you reference? His podcast, or his last interview, or his last song?
Who?
Nori.
He was a rapper.
There you go.
Whoa. All right, we're not about to be...
Don't do that, though, but yeah, he's
Welcome back to another episode of Demigod Chronicles. This is your boy Asante, a.k.a. Demigod, and we are back on another recording day. It's a new year. You feel me? We're here with the fams and all. I'm over here popping on my gum like a tree. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm here with some beautiful people. Here are my co-hosts.
What song he got?
Can you introduce yourself when we get back to this conversation?
How you guys doing? My name is Christian Lopez. We're back for episode 48. Episode 48. 7. Episode 49. Look, the new year messed me up. That gap between the
I've been stopped saying the number.
12 and 1201, That's a good thing, though, that you just losing track of episodes. That's a good. If it was episode 4, you would know. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, bro. I'm happy to be back. We got Lay looking all godly.
Your girl Lay. Back another week, my brother men. I'm happy to be here. It's a new year, new things.
So, if you didn't get or come across COVID this new year, raise your hand.
In the new year or the last year?
Oh, during the Christmas, New Year, that whole
Come across, you mean?
like was it next to someone who had COVID or had COVID? If that didn't happen to you, raise your hand. Isn't that crazy?
I don't know.
Niggas got me.
Isn't that crazy?
I was outside.
Isn't that crazy though?
I
don't know.
had to get tested twice.
That's
I had to get tested a lot.
Came into contact
It's
with some-
spread,
Supposedly, I don't
yo.
have to get tested
This new
anymore.
COVID spread around so fast. God bless people weren't dying though. That's a blessing.
Yeah,
Or at a lower percentage.
that's what
That's a
everybody
blessing.
wanted, right? So
That's
I
a
feel
curse.
like it's now like a flu or like
Yeah.
a cold. Like you get it, you get through it,
You know what
go
I'm
on
saying?
about your day, and that's it.
Yeah.
Still kind of.
But it's crazy. I was talking to a couple people this week.
Hold
'cause
on.
Oh shit, I'm bugging out.
Speaking of colds and viruses, we got a sick man here himself, but sick as in,
Ill.
ill, cool. I'm trying to give you the cringiest, the cringiest intro ever. Nah, we got a returning guest. He was off mic last time. He's actually just like your third episode here. I think.
Technically, depending
Yeah.
on where you put me.
He was here for the iconic argument.
Oh gosh, we ain't about to get back into that. And we have my big brother, my older brother Amani, with us.
Big cuz.
He's joining us here on this Sunday. Say what up to the people.
How you doing? Nah, what's good, y'all? Here chilling. I don't got much of an introduction. No AKAs. AKA.
He got AKAs. He just want to let y'all know who he is.
Mr. AK, I'll give you a 30-piece.
Word.
Old days.
No.
Mr. Buckets himself.
Mr. IT man himself.
Mr. Call of Duty.
Making sure your children are getting a good education if you live in the Bergen County area.
Fucking kids. He said he ain't at work. But yeah, you need to search Nori's catalog because he has a lot of hit records. But what were you saying
What's his
about?
name? You said Nori?
Kofi? Yeah. You never heard of Capone and Noriega?
I've heard Noriega, but his
That-
rap career doesn't strike a memory. Doesn't.
Yeah.
He had like some pop, like almost like pop type radio songs. Like, where it was
No,
for him, no, for that he would know.
He went gold a few times, early in his career when him and Capone and Noriega was together.
Mm-hmm.
They had the song you ever heard, Banned from TV or Super Thug?
I've heard Wayne's band from TV.
Okay. What?
That's where they got the beat from? That's where Wayne got the beat from?
Yeah, well, you need a
That'd be, Wayne. Put that shit in the coffin. That's probably why I never heard his version, because Lil Wayne.
Bro, his BB King freestyle.
his verse on that?
Wayne,
Yeah, I was
Stupid.
like, damn.
is he
He
the
ain't lose his mind.
is
He's
Wayne
still
the,
here.
is Wayne the best freestyle in the sense of rap over another person's beat artist ever? Because
I would say so, because he's the only rapper to create a mixtape series
Multiple.
from it.
The Drought,
No
No
ceilings.
The
Yeah.
Drought. The Drought 3 is crazy.
Yeah, there was a point where he was like just doing other versions of other people's songs. It's a joke.
I just want to talk about like how something so subtle and like something that you might see on a daily basis, depending who you are, something so subtle, how it can be captured and become so iconic. The fact that he just like got in a booth. A lot of people smoke cigarettes, weed,
Oh, yeah,
whatever
yeah,
your
yeah.
choices and preferences. But the fact that he just got in there and just did the like
The
two
two
light
flicks.
thing, the two flicks on the lighter, like you can't. I don't know. For our generation, you can't like not hear that and like think of that. I'm just like, it's crazy. Like I would have never associated that with a rapper or to be like a coin term, but like people literally was just flicking lighters.
And doesn't that show you too, like, just be yourself?
Yeah.
Because he was dead just being himself. Like, he wasn't trying to make something iconic. he was just being himself, and it became iconic.
He'll do that shit, and you'll hear him sip on his cup, and then niggas start going crazy.
Yo, Lil Wayne, when we were kids, really had the game in such a chokehold that then Drake, I guess, was the next person to really go even crazier. He passed, but Wayne was really crazy. I remember when he dropped the Amelie Road, and like I think the music video was premiered on BET at like a certain time, bro. And you just see him walking, you listen to, yo, he's going crazy. And that's like, I think that was the first time I ever seen a rapper. 50 Cent did that to some extent too. Kanye did it, but Wayne really had it, bro.
Wayne was different. I mean, 50 Cent was I feel like Wayne had more younger kids. Like, I know for a fact, me younger, I was definitely more into, not one over the other, but I was more into Lil Wayne than I could say as far as like, because he's doing wordplay and like raps and like, you know, he's referencing things, but like 50 is more street play. Like, and so for you to be like a second, third, you're not supposed to be listening to that shit, but if you hear it, it's like, it's more digestible for you.
And what Wayne did too that was different was he ran the mixtape game. Like 50 really dropped mixtapes?
Yeah.
He had a couple.
What was like his last mixtape?
I couldn't tell.
Because I feel like Wayne did it throughout his entire career. Like some people drop mixtapes to blow up. Wayne was at the top of the game and kept dropping mixtapes.
Ever that 50 was like, so by the time it got to like 2010, which is the blog era of rap, which is what started, well, not started, but that's when really like mixtapes were like, they started doing like the Spinrillas and the hot new hip hop and putting out all these compilation tapes and stuff. 50's era of like a mixtape was like, I'm a burner CD and I'm selling in my hood. Lil Wayne's mixtape was, I can post it to that piff. I can post it to this. I can post it to that.
Just talk about like gathering music, how hard it was to like, at first you used to have to go to the record store, flick through his shit. Like that took hours and hours and hours, right?
Yeah.
Then you got, LimeWire. You could buy the record or you go LimeWire. But even on LimeWire, you search through like, depending how hot the song was, people like to put some like dickhead shit in there. And you'd be searching through and it was like, what was that one clip of like,
I did not have sex relations with that woman.
Isn't that how crazy how fast like technology moves?
Keeps going though.
Yeah.
Like in our lifetime alone, we're in our 20s. So in our lifetime alone, we went from having to flip through catalogs, having cassette tapes, to
we used to have floppy disks.
So cassette tapes to floppy disks to like CDs, and then to like LimeWire to kind of YouTube, but you would click a video and it was you getting Rick rolled to
I forgot.
to streaming to SoundCloud came before the streaming, right? Like so like you said the blogs, and then now we have streaming on our phones to get any song we want for $5 a month.
I used to have to go to like 3 or 4 different websites.
Hulkshare, Skullshare,
not even those.
MP4 share
to find the songs that were coming out,
and without a virus on it,
you just wouldn't know. Like there was nothing that was like on a daily basis. Like there was Herfection, Pigeon and Planes. There was like all these like back end websites that you would go to and it'd be like, oh, like Lupe put out a song, Kanye just put out a song, Cudi got albums.
So bro,
Hot 97 used to have that little shit where they would put out the new release shit.
Yeah, it's like you really had to like go and look for shit now,
bro. So how crazy is this? That happened in our by the time we're 20s. Let's round up and say 30s. That happened in 30 years. Imagine what will happen by the time you're 60.
I can't though. I don't know. See, I feel like it's hard to judge. It's hard to judge innovation because like a lot could happen in a short period of time.
But what's next?
Exactly. That's why I say I can't.
You don't even know what's next.
Exactly.
We don't even know in what ways things could be better for us. But and you just know 30 years from now it's gonna be way better.
I hope so.
I'd never want to go back to life before a Roomba, right?
Before what?
a Roomba. Remember we got one of them shits? That was the dumbest shit. You'll never have to sweep your home again.
It's like the little robots with the
you come home, the shit's just running in the corner.
You know what's crazy?
The ones now are
they've gotten better.
Yeah,
they don't do that.
I'm pretty sure they do.
But that's how crazy it is, bro. That's how crazy it is.
Yeah, one of my friends has one, and it's pretty crazy.
You know what's crazy? I used to hate my dad had one here. You know my dad. And at first, I used to get tight. I didn't like it. It would be 10 o'clock in the morning, back when I really sleep. And it's going, my dad's already left for work. But I'm like, damn, this shit's ass. Now as an adult, I'm like, damn, I wish I had one of them motherfuckers just constantly going around the house cleaning shit.
It's like them annoying ass things that's in the fucking supermarket.
Oh yeah.
They just be in the way. I
In
don't
the
know.
way?
Like,
They do
I've
be in
literally
the way.
walked down the
I be
aisle
purposely
and
going towards that shit so it spin around and get the fuck
Like,
away
go
from me.
Which
away,
one?
Like,
bro.
yeah, take that shit up the
Like, you go to
block,
Stop and
pussy.
Shop, they got like this robot that's supposed to be in there to like sweep up messes
Oh,
and stuff
see,
like that. But
see,
I'm like,
that's why
they
yeah,
invested all this
It's
money.
also for theft.
First off, I would be theft.
It is. It's also for
they
that.
be watching y'all niggas. See, that's why y'all groceries so expensive.
Hold on,
Farmers market don't got
I
none of
need
that
you to
shit.
explain how that's
There's a camera on it that like you have obviously security angles in the store, and there's a camera on that security can access in the back, and they can watch it through the aisles. That's why I just roam through the aisles.
I'm not gonna lie. If I was a Stop and Shop employee and I'm just using Stop and Shop because that's where I've seen it, I'd be tight if they didn't give me a pay raise more than $1. And they
That's
hired
what I'm
a
talking
fucking
about. That
robot.
bullshit right
They hired
there.
a fucking robot to sweep up messes around the
Yo.
store and have another like you need that. That's what you need to spend a couple $1,000s on.
And even see how expensive
That's
groceries
crazy.
are, like in a Stop and Shop and ShopRite. Groceries in ShopRite and Stop and Shop and shit is just crazy. It's ridiculous.
Because it's not that crazy when when
You go to the farmers market?
You go to a farmer's market, you're doing the work. You're cutting out the middleman, like one of the middlemen. You go to supermarket, they source the fruits, got it all in a more convenient location with other things that you were gonna buy in the first place. So
Yeah.
you're paying convenience. Go to a farmer's market, most likely it's just gonna be fruits, and you're gonna have to go to another store to get your other things. Like,
Yeah, I feel you.
but
That's what you're saying.
so I feel like the cost isn't what you get. Services doesn't have a value, but it has a value.
Yeah. No, service stuff, I feel that. I didn't see what you're saying.
You know, I was talking about the other day with Cindy. You know what really pisses me off?
Are
People.
we name dropping now?
Cindy, my brother's girlfriend.
Well, now he's giving out full descriptions.
I've casually mentioned people that are in my
I'm
life.
just saying, we name dropping, giving out full descriptions now.
You want me to say someone?
I'm just saying, someone I know, you know.
Chris.
I did say my friend. I almost said who it was, but
I mean, I'm not about to talk about anything that prolific.
I'm just saying.
But
I'm just saying.
okay, so I was having a
Name
conversation
dropping.
with Cindy, and we were talking about the other day, like being in that industry, like of the just like service in general, whether you work
Yeah.
retail, like in the restaurant industry, whatever the case may be. Like it's so important now, especially because there's so many things going on in the world. People that like have opted out of those jobs and stuff. That it's like a weird vacuum because there's people that want to have, obviously, give the people more what's the word I'm looking for? Leeway.
Yeah.
Be like, all right, like I understand it's gonna take a long time. You guys are short staffed. You know whatever the case may be. But then you also have workers that like are in these that are in these industries that don't necessarily want to serve people, and it's like their job comes with the attitude. And like we were in a position the other day where we went to the store and like we're trying to deal with this lady and she has an attitude and we're like trying to get like we're understanding that like we have a problem with the items or whatever the case may be, so like they need to go back, and she has an attitude because like for whatever reason, and like we're trying to have understanding with her, and it's like, yo, so when you do get those people that like are like they're gonna help you with your problem, they're not gonna give you an attitude, and like you're not really pressing them to like really like you're not being a dick about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are people that are like I really appreciate in that industry. Like I like getting a server where it's like, all right, if I ask them to switch something for me, they're not gonna press me about it because like they understand like I've been out, I've ordered something I didn't like, or it's like they might come back and they might check on the table or whatever the case may be. Like I just don't like the service industry and how people will sign up for it or apply for a job knowing they have to serve people but not really want to be in the business of serving people, because it takes understanding from both sides. And if you're a person that's just like, oh, well, why didn't you just do this or why didn't you just do that? And it's just like, I did do that and now I need assistance and that's why I'm here to you.
I feel like that comes with understanding the responsibility of position too.
Yeah.
Like there's certain positions that you know that you're going to be in that part of you has to like humble yourself and just do what you're do what you're responsible for. And some people can do that and some people can't do that. And I feel like the ones that can, they're usually the more successful ones, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And the one who can't, they're miserable in what they do because they can't find the proper purpose.
Like if the person's not somebody, because I worked retail before, and it's some people that would ask like some ridiculous things, like, oh, you can't call all the stores in like North America and see if they have it. Like, all right, lady, no, I can't do that. But there's some people that like will get an attitude just because you ask them to do something that's literally a part of your job description. It's like, oh, like, can I get a refill? Oh, yeah. Nigga, you had an attitude because I'm still thirsty? Like, this shit say free refills, bro. I just want to refill.
You know what's funny? You know what I love? It's like, so, if you ever go out to, like, eat, and your waiters are, like, just in a bad mood or jerk, and then by the end of it, you make the waiter feel better?
No.
I've not had that happen before.
I make them feel better?
Yeah.
Yeah, like they've or they literally been like thank you so much for being like great guests. Like
Yeah.
it was so I'm the only way. Like you
I've
find
had,
out like
I've,
something crazy.
I've had a waiter. I've initially bonded off a waiter of them telling me the experience they just had with the previous dining guests, and like off rip we laughed about it.
Yeah.
But like they didn't have an attitude while they were serving me. You know.
Yeah, I've had people, like, come to my table, have an attitude with me, and I know, like, by the end of this, that attitude's gonna be gone, and you're gonna be in a better mood.
Oh, you just like that, huh?
I know I'm gonna make you feel better.
Nah, fuck.
Nah, it's usually the opposite for me. Like they'll pull up, they're like, oh, I'm sorry, like I just had to deal with this customer or whatever,
Yeah.
and they'll tell me like the situation, whatever. And I'm like let them vent a little bit. Everybody's a human, you know. People want to vent a little bit.
Yeah.
So let them vent a little bit, and then they're like, all right, like how can I help you? And I'm like, where were we doing? We were doing something, and the lady was like, she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't mean to take too long. And you're like, no, you're good. You're like,
Yeah.
we're not in a rush. And she's like, thank you, sorry, we're
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
it's fine.
I mean things exactly like that.
Yeah.
Like, doing things like that will make the person feel better.
Yeah.
Or, like, if you just ask them their name, or just say thank you, because you will be surprised how many people just don't say thank you after they put a fork on their table.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, or
When you
I
got-
say thank you for everything.
When you guys walk in a room, do you guys say like good morning? Do you guys speak
Yeah.
to everybody in the room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends. Most times, yes. Sometimes, no.
Yeah, there's times too where, on average, though, yeah. But there's
Like,
those days where
people
you're just
are,
like,
friendly like that.
Yeah.
I speak to everybody in a room. I feel like that's mad rude. If you go in a room and you don't speak,
yeah.
like
I'm the person that says, like, I don't know why I've tried not to do it because I know it's like been turned to like a. It doesn't mean what you're asking. Like people are like, oh, how are you doing? When they're just really saying like good morning or hi. But I'm the type of person, if I say how are you doing, like I've gotten into full conversations with the person. Just
Man,
like,
my
"Well, I
wife,
had a terrible
bro."
day." But I'll sit there and listen and have a conversation with the person. So like, I realize like I'm asking this person and I'm entitled to whatever response they give me. Like I'm not gonna be rude about it. But there's a lot of people where I've been like, oh, like they're like, how are you? I'm like, I'm good. How are you? Just like I don't need a full conversation. The person just keep walking, and that's when I'm just like, why do you say that to not respond?
okay, I see what you say.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so a lot of people will say, oh, like, good morning, how are you? No matter what you say, they weren't going to respond. That was just like hi.
Yeah.
That was literally like
Yeah.
a new version of just hi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta just slide it in there. You can't really ask how they're doing. You gotta imply that you're like good morning, hope you're doing well. So like I ain't asked you how you was, but I told you what I want my intent to be.
Nah, I always ask people. It was funny. Sometimes some people will act like when people like there are people who will actually like complain about a bad day, and then I just sit and listen to them. But then sometimes I talked to this one person the other day, and you know I don't mean no disrespect. You know, I love people, but I was walking down the stairs from Jiu-Jitsu. I saw a guy there. He's like, "How you doing?" I was like, "Oh man, how you doing?" He's like, "It's another day." And then from that, he's just walking down the stairs complaining. We get outside, he's complaining. He makes the left to go smoke a cigarette. And I'm just like,
I don't got that
I'm
time to
so
be
happy he didn't walk straight.
Can't be your beacon, brother.
No, it's not even that, but like,
If I know you, I care. If I don't know you, I'm not having small talk with you because I can't give you any insight on your situation because I do not fucking know you.
but it's,
that's not true because sometimes you come across interesting people or
Yeah.
like you could have had a conversation and that
Yeah.
person say like, or you just find out like you guys have common interests and they've like, I've gotten offered job positions that way. I've gotten
Yeah.
offered like opportunities and stuff that way. But it's like, it's a 50-50 chance though. That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes you just
I
gotta
would
know
say-
I'm rolling the dice asking this
Bro,
question.
the last time that
Might get
happened to
some
me,
shit.
I was in Hoboken. I was walking, right? Back to the car. And some guy, like, he's like, how you doing, brother? I'm like, I'm good, how are you? And then he called me up. Man, you know, I gotta stay low, man. The government watching. I didn't.
It's like shit like that.
That's the same.
I ain't signed up
it's
for
a
none of
risk.
this
It's
shit.
a risk. You like you said it. Having conversations with people is like rolling the dice. There's some risk involved because you might get that. You might get what you said, a job opportunity, or you might get someone's like, "What are you talking to me for? Leave me alone."
You always get something from it because look, you got a story that you can talk about on
Yeah.
your podcast.
Bro, the man said, he said Joe Biden's starting a regime, and he said, he said Trump and Biden made it look like they weren't working together, but they're on the same agenda.
Yeah.
And he told me to watch my back because he said I have African diaspora and the government's probably watching me too.
How do you guys?
I said, word, bro. I said, you have a blessed night, brother. Shouldn't ask some shit.
Hit him with the. Have a blessed night.
So how do all three of you feel about when you ask, like if you walk into a room and you say good morning to somebody,
Yeah.
and they don't acknowledge it? And this is not like somebody like I'm walking down the street or it's the person giving me food that I'm saying good morning. Like
Yeah.
somebody I see in the office on a regular basis. And
Yeah.
Good morning, and they just like they literally like acknowledge that you said it, but don't say anything. Like how do you feel about that?
At that point, I'm like, I understand. Like, you don't want to maybe speak. Maybe you're having a bad morning. I don't feel like I'd take that any kind of way. Because I said good morning for my, like, I didn't say good morning. Like, I said it for myself, like, because I know that's the right thing to do. So,
I feel like the way I talk to people, it kind of like, if you weren't to say it, you would just create an awkward situation. Because I don't just like walk past people and just like throw a good, like I'll like walk up to you, hey, good morning, how you doing? And then like walk away. So it'll be like, good morning, how you doing? They would just have to stare at me.
Yeah.
So most people are just going to say good morning back, even if they don't want to like talk.
If that happens to me, when I walk away, I just say some slick shit to myself. I don't say it out loud. I just whisper it to
It's
myself.
like, man, fuck that nigga.
For my own confidence. I just feel like, man, them niggas must be deaf or something.
I felt like how Leigh felt. I was like, I say it for me. Like,
Yeah.
if I feel like I'm in a good mood or whatever, I'm just trying to put positive energy out there. But there was I used to work at TD Bank, like in a credit union type thing. And there was a security guard at the front desk. So every morning I would walk in and be like, good morning, how are you doing? And they would literally just look at me and not say anything. Like, so after like 2 weeks of doing that, I started like, I definitely got in my head and I turned into Chris. And I was like, man, fuck that nigga. He didn't say good morning. So I stopped saying good morning after a while. And I was just like, I don't know. It became a point where it was just like, I don't know if he like feels like it's rude that I'm talking to him. Like, I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
I had this whole self-conscious argument in myself. I was just like, I'm just not going to say good morning to this man.
You know what's funny as hell about that? Because it'd be those same people who, when a whole bunch of people come to them and say good morning, they ignore them, that say that people are bad, or like they're the ones who view other people as like being mean or cynicism. They don't realize that they're the reasons that no one's in their life. Because for a very simple fact, people say good morning to you and you just look at them.
Yeah.
You know?
And you also got to be careful of that. I've been watching Curb Your Enthusiasm lately, right? So there's a episode, like he's at a country club or whatever, and he's a part of his country club. All his friends go there, whatever. And he said, like, one day, the guy that's at the front gate, like, he decided to put down his window, say hi to him. Dude starts talking to him for a few minutes, like, all right. So he said, like, now, like, every time, like, before he could just pull up, like, give the dude a head nod, he'd lift the gate and go through. So he said, now, every time, like, the dude comes and, like, leans on his windowsill to, like, talking. So he's like, man, the first time was 5 minutes. Next time was 10 minutes. He's like, this time, you had me out there for 15 minutes of talking. He's like, I said hi one time. Like, what does this guy think this is? And that's happened to me before because, like, when I was at school, the guy that was, like, the security check-in, like, after, like, a certain time of night, you had to, like, check in your ID or whatever. He used to always be there, and, like, I used to, like, always, like, hey, how you doing, man? And he'd be like, you know, man, another day, same shit, different day. And then he started talking about stuff, and just, like, every time he would see me, like, he just started, like, getting, like, he would get excited to see me because he has somebody to talk to, and he's on this overnight shift. And then, like, there'll be times I'll be there, and I'm like, yo, I really got to get to my room, or I have to piss or some shit. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to go. And I'm like, yeah, man, it was good talking to you, man. But he's like, all right, you got to go. All right, bye. And I'm like, damn, my nigga, you would have had me down there for like 30 minutes if I let you, bro.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'd be
that feels good, though.
trying to get away sometimes.
Yeah, I feel guilty trying to get away from
damn,
those.
you in the middle of this conversation, and like, I did not expect to be here this long, and I really got.
But it's cool. It's
but
cool.
Sometimes like that's the only conversation.
Yes, I'm saying it's cool to be that blessing in someone's life. Like he probably working overnight for years, had no one ever to talk to. You showed up in his life one day. He's like, thank God. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be on both sides of it though. It depends what day I'm on.
Because
some days it's like I can entertain the conversation.
Yeah, you're human, bro.
Some days
That's
it's
human
like,
shit.
Nah, you know what I feel like there should be in Ubers. I don't know who I had this conversation with recently, but there should be I request a quiet ride. I want this ride to be like, I don't want the driver talking to me.
Yeah.
Because I've had drivers where it's like, I've had conversations with,
I think they have it now.
Oh, yeah?
I haven't taken an Uber in a minute.
Oh wow.
But
that's crazy.
like, I like there's been people where I've got in the car with headphones, taken out my headphones, asked them a question, or like maybe they're in a car that I haven't been in before, asked them a question about the car, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I remember I spoke to this one guy, bro, for my whole ride. I was going to Patterson by like 25 minutes, right? And he was telling me how he comes from New York because like the Ubers over here, like he's like it's way more saturated in New York, and you'll get less rides because of the traffic. So he said I like to come to Jersey, and I'm like, oh, like what do you do? He's like, oh, like during the day he's like a physician. He said he gets off pretty early, gets off like 3:00. So he said that he drives to New Jersey and he starts Ubering. I'm like, this dude's pretty interesting. So I had a conversation with him, and then you have those people that just like the small talk. I'd rather have an in-depth conversation with you. And I'm never gonna see you again. Like this shit's mad meaningful. Then like people, so you got a zip on that jacket, huh? Like, yes, nigga, this is a zipper on my jacket. Like
Trying to talk about nothing,
bro, trying to talk about nothing.
Oh
And like,
my
bro, I was in an
God.
Uber once. This nigga's blasting music, and I have in my headphones, and I just keep seeing like through my headphone, like even. I was like, this nigga's talking to me again, and I'm like, what? He's like, you going to Patterson, man? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, cool. I used to know a couple cats in Patterson. I was back in the.
Nah, some people don't have the best social skills, bro. It's
the shit. Nah, but you gotta figure. It's hard to figure it out for some people. I get that, but like, there's levels to where you gotta figure it out. All right. So and the worst part about that is all right when we're younger. And it's not even trying to like hit on any community, but you have like regular classes, and there's literally like kids in special education, and not all of them have like special needs. Some of them just have social interactions. Some could have mental challenges. But when you grow up, there is no classification. Like those people are just
God damn.
not those people, but like that group of people are just
That's a hell of a thing to think
like
about.
It's community. Everyone's one community. So like when you run into a person, there's no. You don't know, all right, this person has social issues.
Oh my God.
It's just you're talking to another adult. So you run into some situations where I've definitely encountered people where I've had to like take a second, like, this person's moving at me real weird. And then I kind of like gather, like, oh, this person has Asperger's. Like
I've never
that's where
thought
you have
of
to
that.
like change your the way you approach people. Because like a lot of times you approach somebody, like I've left situations where like, damn, that dude was weird as hell.
Yeah.
But then I started like thinking about the situation, bro. Like probably had like something was probably like off mentally.
Yeah.
So I have
where
a
he
question.
Didn't understand that.
I have a question. One, thank you, because I never thought like, oh shit, these people grow up one day and they just go into society with no labels. But two, why is it wrong to call it weird, but to also say, oh, this person has Asperger? Why can't like the fact that it's actually weird? Oh, that's weird. Why does it have to be such a negative connotation on
I think
that's
it's
weird?
both, and I think that's in like it's that's based on perception. Like to say something is weird because you can distinguish between normal and not, and to say something is weird because the person doesn't know and that's just part of their normal action. I feel like it's two different things. So like the way like if you seen like me walking and I did something in my walk funny, you'd be like, why are you walking like that? That's weird. Versus like I have like a mental challenge or a physical like incapability that's making me do that. To say that's weird would be like that would be more insensitive. And I think that's where people might find indifference.
Yeah, I don't know. What are you gonna say there?
I think weird is insulting. Like
I love being called weird.
To an extent, it could be insulting, especially to a community like that that's, you know, different or uniquely abled.
That's what I was gonna get at. I feel like people need to weird and different sometimes.
It's just like we all have our like weird things, so like for us to be labeling things as weird, I don't think that's just not the proper terminology. I think it's just like politically incorrect, you know, one of those things. But
Oh my
I
God.
feel like certain words people aren't okay with because it's your personal reflection on it.
Yeah.
So like my brothers have always called me weird.
Yeah.
Always. Like I used to do quote unquote weird shit as a kid, like just different stuff. And he over there smiling but I moved to the beat of my own drum. I do what I like to do. If it enjoyed me and made me feel comfortable, that's what I did. Like if you thought it was weird to you, I don't care.
Yeah.
That's the same way as I am an adult. For me, it's kind of worked out. But I liked being called weird. I like being like, that's different. Like I enjoyed that. It's not like I was trying to be different. It was just that's the stuff that I did, and you called it weird. So for me, like I like weird. Like I find weird, quirky. Like I think those are positive things that people would say in a negative characteristic about somebody. So
I
I
always
feel like it's how you define something. Like I don't think weird is bad or quirky is bad.
always wonder, bro, as a society, if we could ever get to a point where like we could say things but not put a connotation on it. Like we like not to say like say for instance happy, not to say the word happy is a positive emotion, or sad, not to say sad is a negative emotion. If we could just say happy and sad are emotions. If we could just say weird is a word. If we could just say, all the like without adding our own
it's all in
subjective.
context.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but how do we get there to
'Cause
society?
you have to.
I feel like
I think that
everybody has
It
to be
has to be.
educated
Yeah,
enough to understand the difference.
Do you think it's humanly possible?
No, because I think that you need those things to filter out certain. Like, think of it like a system, right? You have to like plug in one thing to get something else. So if I say I'm this, how would you know how to classify the emotion? How do you know how to have this conversation? If I said I'm sad and someone's like, "Yo, fucking lit, bro," like they would need to know the sad. Like it's bad that I'm sad, so they know how to
So-
address the conversation.
So, but then the only thing is
Hold
like
on, is it bad?
that's
that
what I
you're
was saying.
sad?
It's not
'Cause
bad.
What if you're leaving? What if somebody's leaving and you're sad that they're leaving? But it's
Yeah.
a good thing that you're
Yeah,
sad.
you're
that they're
sad, you're
leaving
gonna
'cause
miss
you love them. You get me? So
But
it's
you-
interpretation.
That's what I'm saying. That's a specific reasoning for being sad.
Yeah.
So the reasoning for being sad is different than the actual emotion. If you say I'm sad, a person's leaving, that is a bad thing because you shouldn't be feeling down because someone's leaving you because that can have negative effects on you. You should be trying to gain further understanding and like, all right, boom, I can now try to communicate with this person in this direction. I can try to do this. I can try to do this. But you being sad about it isn't necessarily a good thing because
No.
sadness isn't good.
And I disagree with that, bro, because emotions are like messages to yourself. Like you have absolutely no control of what emotion pops up, but it's a message to you. So sad in itself isn't innately bad. Your reaction to the emotion of feeling sad is what we could then describe as good or bad.
Yeah.
But the emotion itself is not innately bad.
But you telling a person you're sad, you're telling them that you're feeling the emotion, and they think that I'm not gonna be in a good mood and be like, yo, I'm kind of sad because I'm feeling decent. I'm in a good mood.
Yeah.
So you're telling these people, you're telling them those things when you're feeling a certain way. So the act of feeling sad may not be a bad thing,
Yeah.
but the things that come around being sad, those can have negative connotations behind them. So for those things, that's why you would know to address a person a certain way. Because if I don't know how my friend is feeling,
Yeah.
and they can't tell me how they're feeling, if they can say I'm sad, obviously they have to go into context with it.
Yeah.
They can say I'm sad because of this.
Yeah.
And then you now classify, all right, that's normal to feel that way. If someone told me they're sad because they just lost someone that's really important to them, I'm not going to tell them that's bad. You shouldn't be sad.
Yeah.
Because there's things that you have to go through. There's grieving processes you have to go
Yeah.
through. There's a science behind that. But you telling a person that they're sad, it's okay, and also the things that go with it is okay. That can't be a thing. Or you can't have a realm where just there's not an understanding behind each feel. Like yes, it's a yin and yang with everything. So you can't say I'm sad and that's it. There's nothing behind it.
Yeah.
It's like no, you're sad. There's bad in the sad, which is this side, but there's also good in the sad because one, you'll learn how to cope with it. You'll gain further understanding and you're gonna grow from it.
Yeah.
Those are the good things in the sad. So I think you shouldn't take away the connotations. You should get people to understand that there's good and bad in it in perspective.
I think
That's it.
I think
it's gonna come down to, but that's all with part of learning.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
don't
think
know not everyone's can always be educated.
I think we're saying the same thing. I think we agree on probably about 95% of what we're both saying. I think our only disagreement comes in the fact I think you should get rid of I don't think we should call happy, satisfied. I don't think we should call those list of emotions good.
Why?
And I don't think we should call angry, frustrated, sad, tired bad. I think we should get rid of that list of these are good emotions, these are bad emotions, and they're just all emotions. But the way you respond to those emotions, we can then list those maybe as bad or good. Your response to the emotion.
I agree with everything that you were saying until you kind of pointed in a direction. That philosophy instead of just words and emotions, I agree with that on certain words.
Yeah.
To just understand words are going to be placed in a certain manner, connotations are going to be made, and it's based on your perception. But as far as emotions, what good would it do to not say sad is bad or sad is good?
Yeah.
What good would that do? I'm asking.
So the reason I think you should get rid of saying sad is a bad emotion, because I think what happens is people then begin to feel guilty, or they feel they might get a bad feeling about the fact that they're sad. Like, people become sad for legit reasons, then be like, I can't believe I'm sad, or like, I feel so bad that I'm sad about this, or I feel so guilty I'm sad, or I feel so. It's like, no, your sadness is justified because it's not a bad emotion to feel. But now let's focus on your response to it.
But wouldn't it be better to say that? Go ahead.
I feel like what you would be doing is like what you said before, is like a small demographic feels a way about something, so you change it for everybody. I feel like that would be a small percentage of a person that would think that way, because I wouldn't say normal because everybody's different, but a kind of regular process of thinking about it would be like, I'm sad. This isn't a good thing that I'm sad right now. So what do I do to put myself in a position? Why did I say it like that? A position of getting myself to look at it a different way.
Yeah.
So it's not about moving out of the seat you're in. Like, this is a sad seat. I'm not gonna change the seat I'm in, but I can, instead of looking over there where all the bad things are, I can look in this direction because that's the way I'm heading. So I think changing that would be good, but I don't know if necessarily not labeling it like Amani said, because you can play devil's advocate, because if you don't put a label on it and they don't think sad is a bad thing, a person will be like, oh no, I'm sad, that's perfectly fine, it's a good thing, I can be sad, it's not good, it's not bad, so I can wallow in my feelings and I can do this and I can do that. But if a person understands that they're sad and it's not a good thing for them to be sad, they can work to get themselves to be happy.
Lay, you have something to say? I'm gonna say something. I want to hear Lay's opinion.
I agree with what Asante saying, as far as like there needs to be like a structure. Like, I feel like with emotions come like, I don't want to say like definitions, but like emotions are either positive or negative emotions. There's no
Like parameters.
Yeah, there's no other way around that. Like, when you're sad, people don't strive to be sad.
Yeah.
It's not something that is like, I'm gonna be sad. Like, people strive to be satisfied, peace, happy, however you want to explain it. So I feel like there's just naturally always gonna be negative and positive emotions, and I feel like there has to be like some kind of structure. Like, people are striving to be happy. Yeah. So that's my thought on that.
to I guess all three guys' response, my response is, first to Asante's, if I'm getting rid of calling emotions bad, I'm also not going to call them good. So like, for someone saying, oh, we got to put sad in the bad category so people don't say, oh, this is good, I'm fine here. No, I would get rid of both those. Both those things wouldn't exist. So I would get rid of that. And then Lay, damn, it escaped my mind what I was going to say. Can you repeat what you said? I had something to say about what you said again. I'm sorry.
I said emotions are like naturally going to come with like positive and negative. Like, it's all about, now I'm having a brain fart.
No, but right there. Cool. No, positive, negative.
I wanted to add on to what she was going to say with that before you respond.
All right, add on, yeah.
All right, so I agree with her, and as far as like, there's a construct, or constructor, however you said, and there's certain parameters. Doesn't mean like, a parameter is like a guideline. Doesn't mean it is what it is. So for you to say there's no good, there's no bad, they're just things for certain things, I don't think it's possible. There needs to be a positive and negative to have any type of balance in anything. That's the economies, like solar system, everything needs some type of balance. So for you to eradicate that, I don't think that's necessarily it's not gonna change. Just because you don't think sad is bad doesn't change that you're sad. That's not going to change that. Just because you think happy is not good doesn't change that you're happy. Like, you're still going to feel that emotion. You're still going to process that emotion. Whatever category you try to put it in, it doesn't matter. You still feel that emotion. But I feel like as far as being sad itself, it's more so to understand, like, it's okay to be sad. Sad is going to happen, but it's also not the only thing. But if you don't think that sad is a negative thing at times, then you won't understand, like, you won't appreciate happy. Like, you have to have adversity to understand the other side of it. Like, so if you just think everything is just the same, then it's like you'll never have an appreciation for the other.
Yeah.
Like, it won't mean as much for you.
Yeah. And I think, like, and to add on to what you're saying, I think to that point, with the way you guys think, that's how things are in society right now. And I don't think the result of people in society thinking that way actually brings that. I think what it brings right now is when people aren't happy, they're guilty and feel ashamed that they're not feeling happy. And when people are sad or depressed, they feel guilty and ashamed that they are sad and depressed.
You think that's
I don't
everybody
find
though?
that to be my experience, though.
I don't think that it's everybody. I think that it's an increasing rate of people, and I think a good amount of people feel that way about emotions. Like,
Yeah.
and I think a good amount of people feel that way about emotions. Like, I don't think that the average person has a healthy relationship with their emotions. Like a healthy, where they, like, if I wake up tomorrow and I'm angry about something, I'm not gonna sweat it because I'm angry. It's okay. Let me just understand why I'm angry. It's not bad. Maybe I'm angry.
So the gripe would almost be to get people to be more educated on their emotions,
Yeah.
rather than changing the classifications of the emotions.
Yeah, because for instance, it's bad if I'm angry because I didn't win fantasy football, and I'm angry about that, and now I'm walking around angry, right? But it's not bad if I'm angry because maybe my best friend just stabbed me in the back. You would think in a healthy person that would probably produce anger. You know what I mean? So that his anger isn't bad, or it's not. It's not bad that he's angry because someone stabbed him in the back. So anger itself isn't bad.
But that's why I said
it's more of a reaction.
I couldn't make that classification towards the emotions because the emotions are what they are in that moment, and that's what I was trying to say. It's not necessarily a bad thing to be sad because someone's leaving. There's a plus and a minus for it. It's not like I'm sad where I'm gonna be losing it, but it's just like without even knowing, you miss a person. You know what I mean? And that's a positive and a negative thing. If you can miss somebody, that means there's a positive emotion that you feel for this person, in the most part. But the fact that you miss them is also a negative emotion. That's why I'm saying you need your positive and you need your negative. I don't think for you to try and distinguish that classification is not going to really change anything because that's based my perception. My perception can be, I miss this person. That means I care for them. That's a positive thing I have in my life. Some people don't have an opportunity to miss people. Some people don't have that type of connection with people. So the fact that I can miss you is a positive thing. The fact that I still care for you in my mind like that is a positive thing. But the fact that I miss you is a sad thought.
Yeah, and I think the labels adds an extra like wall or extra level or extra like construct of a relationship we have to our emotions that just don't need to be there. Like if we erase that level of labeling between us and our emotions, in the middle of that are labels. And I think if we remove the labels between that and just put us and our emotions, we would have a healthier relationship with them. Because I think ultimately emotions are here to send us a message. Like you just said, if this person leaves and I'm sad, oh, that means I miss them. That means I really like this person. But if we now put sadness is good or bad, this and this, and you shouldn't, it's like, oh my God, like we're adding a extra layer that just doesn't need to be there instead of just feeling the emotion, understanding why it's there, getting the message, and moving as such with it.
But I don't, I'm thinking stripping that name sad and good though. You could say it's neither, but it's still up to the individual person to understand their self.
You're looking at it as there's two different sides. There's emotions that's like, if there's a Venn diagram, that's in the middle. Being passionate can be a good thing. It can be a bad thing.
Yeah.
Missing somebody can be a good thing. Can be a bad thing. Being energetic can be a good thing. It can be a bad thing. So it's like there's certain emotions that do fall under the umbrella of they don't have a classification. So you could really be on either spectrum of it. I think, like I said before, your gripe isn't with the labels. It's with people's understanding of those labels, because you can't say, all right, like people don't understand how to drive on two-way streets, so let's just make every street one way so everyone understands just to go that direction.
Yeah.
And that this next street, you can only go that direction. But there are people that understand two ways. So you can't change the system based off of, the couple of people that might get into a car accident because they're on the wrong side of the street. But if you get everybody to understand street signs better, you wouldn't have to change the system at all.
So I know what I'm trying. So I agree with like what you guys are saying. I agree with 100%, except for probably like that 2% where I'm saying
102%.
No,
But
yeah,
I'm asking,
I would crazy.
on that percent that you're explaining, how do you do that
So,
And that doesn't need you
so I got
to
an
have a
example. I got a separate example.
Okay.
If I went in my kitchen, right,
Uh-huh.
and pulled out a knife
Uh-huh.
and put the knife on the table, and I says, "Is that knife good or bad?"
Depends what your intent is.
But it in itself, erase your intent from it. Is in itself that knife good or bad?
It's good. It's bad.
It's nothing.
Based on what you do with it, based on your intentions with it.
You cut
But
vegetables, it'll be good. If you
the
cut
knife
a person,
itself,
it'll be bad.
though, but the knife itself, if like in itself, without your what you're gonna use it for, without your intentions for it, the knife in itself is not good or bad. It's just a knife.
Correct.
I feel the same way about emotions.
But the emotions are, it's like Amani said, it's like it's charged differently. So you can't
put
be
something
angry at somebody
that's
and
a
be like,
fine
oh, I feel
thing.
anger towards you, but I don't know whether it's good or bad. It's just anger. That's not a good thing. You should be able to classify, I feel anger towards you, and it's not good that I feel anger towards you, so I need to understand that.
Yeah, but
so if
anger in itself, though, like erase all that. Erase the reasoning, your intentions.
I get what you're saying,
The utility
but
of it,
I
just
think-
anger.
Like I said,
And when you do that, where do you go from there? I'm just asking this because I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Erase that, but you're saying erase that. How do you actually erase that? You get what I'm saying?
because it's still going
Oh,
to
it
end up being
happens-
positive
still
or
gonna
negative.
process
So-
in your brain that way. Everything of what you're saying is gonna come down to learning and.
But here's
education.
how it works. But this is what's interesting. So emotions come from the original part of the brain, which is connects to the stem. That's the original part of the brain. Your thought process is in your forebrain, which is in the newest part of your brain. So that means when the emotion travels and the chemical reaction happens in your body, it takes time for you and your forebrain to translate what that emotion means. And a lot of humans are really bad at translating emotions. So then we start throwing all these labels on it, not really accepting it in itself without what society has taught us, what we have
Let's move
learned.
past that part.
Yeah.
It's
Move
the
past that part.
comprehension.
It's the
that's-
comprehension
yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
So let's say we got to the point where we removed labels.
Yeah.
Sad is no longer good or mad, right?
Good or bad, yeah.
I come over there and I slap the shit out of you.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I'm gonna
And
probably
why
get,
do you feel
I'm
that
gonna probably
way?
get angry.
You get me?
Yeah.
Alright, and
but boom, and that's an example where anger is good. That's why I say it in itself is
Is it
not
good?
good or bad.
Is it
Of
good?
Who's it good
course.
for?
If you smack
hold
me,
on, it's
yeah,
only good in perspective.
that's what I'm
But
saying.
so whether it was good or bad or not
Yeah.
didn't change. It doesn't change anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know about that, Chris.
Yeah, but to your point exactly. Anger in itself is not bad. Just the emotion, the chemical reaction by the emotion, anger is not bad. Now, if you bring in circumstances, bring in intent, situations, its usefulness, now it becomes, depending on how you use the anger, is good or bad. If someone walks up to you, like if I had a son, for instance, and as someone came up to me, he's like, yo, someone smacked me, and I didn't do anything. And he said, someone smacked me, I got angry, and I beat him up. I'm gonna be like, okay, you used your anger properly.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why you get the person to understand that.
Yeah.
Because if my kid tells me I'm angry, right? I'm
Yeah.
angry that I lost this football game.
Yeah.
I can't be like, don't be angry. That's not a good emotion. Da-da-da. I'm like,
Yeah.
good. Be angry because now you take that
Yeah.
anger, right, and translate it to passion. You put that passion in, and you
But
change
that's
that to
you-
hard
but
work.
That's you showing him how to use the emotion.
Yeah, but you changing the polar of the emotion, whether it's positive or negative, you can still show them the same thing.
Yeah.
But you're speaking from the perspective of, if I feel sad, everyone that feels sad is going to feel guilty and think it's a negative thing. Some people feel sad and they're like, no, I need to take the sadness and I need to turn it into passion. And a lot of people do that. So I feel like changing that is not going to do anything. I think it's, like I said before, your understanding of it, your comprehension of it. I feel sad. What do I do with this? You can sit with it for a little bit. You observe how you act in it. You now make positive applications to change how you're feeling, to do positive things around you. So yes, the emotion is a bad emotion. You see the good. It's a yin and yang with everything. You have to see the good in
Yeah.
it. You have to see the bad, because it's not just it's a bad thing and everything that comes with it is bad. This is a big yin and yang, right? You take the emotion, anger, all right, boom, it goes to the yang side. It's bad. But in that bad is good. And within those bad and good things, there's also other small, so it's micro. So you're just seeing it as one bad or
See,
good
and
thing,
this
but
is-
it's everything.
And this is how, like, when you're describing it, when you can't speak of the emotion in itself, like when you use the narrative labels are good or bad, you have to start adding intention. You have to start adding the situation, how you use it. You have to add all those things to even come up with a scenario.
So I have a
But the
question.
thing in itself is not bad or good.
Is shooting someone good or bad?
I don't know.
And that's what I'm trying to say.
That's the thing in
Hold on,
itself.
hold on,
It never
hold on.
is.
You know, for shooting someone, no matter what the situation, is always a bad thing. And
What?
that's what I'm trying
What'd
to
you say?
say.
What'd you say?
Shooting someone is always a bad thing.
No way.
100%.
There's no way. There's no way it is.
Let me finish.
Oh.
Shooting someone is always a bad thing because, as far as a moral code, a character code, so you can baseline what good and bad is gone.
Yeah.
However, what is the situation, and that's where it comes.
He shot
that-
my mother, so I shot him.
So
Okay.
or
Nope,
I was
nope.
defending my family. Hold on. I
Yeah.
was defending my family, or this was an intruder.
Yeah.
Or the person had me at gunpoint.
Yeah.
But the fact that you shot someone is not a good thing.
See, and I think that, even what you're saying, I feel like that's, and this is interesting. This is for all of us. This is our own, like, moral beliefs and perspectives. So, like, even me saying, like, it in itself is not bad. That's just my own moral perspective and my own beliefs. And we're,
But I'm going on
know.
like
Because
a societal code
and I
that
think,
killing is wrong.
And I think Jason's with me
in
on
the
this too,
general
because he got
sense.
excited about it. I don't think it in itself, shooting someone, isn't bad or good. I have no idea until you explain. So if you try to tell me there was a school shooter about to run into the school with an AK-47, before he got in, I shot him dead. No one's gonna say that what I did was a bad thing.
But just like you
No
just
one's
said, wait,
saying
wait,
that
hold
what
on,
you're saying
hold
is a
on.
bad thing.
Just like you just said with that, you need the understanding first. So if a person tells you I'm sad, you don't classify whether they're sad or is bad or
what I'm
good
saying.
yet. But the emotion is still a sad emotion.
Nah, there we
so
go,
they
right.
understand. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Once you put that label, it's not done, Chris.
Yeah.
They can now break it down. I'm sad because of this. I'm
what
sad
I'm
because
trying
of
to say
that.
is-
No,
Who's putting
and what
putting
you
the
just
label,
said
though?
and what he just said is what I'm trying to say. Like,
But you can't stop it at that level.
no, but then to get to the next level, you have to add stuff. It at its base core of itself is neither bad or good.
Not
If you just leave it at its core self, like a knife, for instance, the knife at its core is just a tool. But until you add intent, until you add
Emotions
what you do
aren't
with it-
tools, though. They're reactions.
No, they are tools.
No, they're reactions. You can't wake up in the morning and
I
put
feel like
yourself
certain
in a
things are
sad
bad.
in a sad mindset and say this is my tool for the day. I'm gonna go through the day as a sad person.
But you can't do that.
You can,
make
bro.
you can make yourself sad or happy. Like that's. I know this is not. But just a side note.
I'm just
You
saying
can
though,
make
it's
yourself
not
sad or
like
happy.
it's not like you're the mechanical pencil that with all the different inks on it, and you could just click that emotion for the day.
Bro,
and I'm just gonna be
Yeah.
Is having cancer bad or good? I'm trying to get you to understand that there's a
I don't
general
know.
baseline of. I don't think that's the answer you really wanted to give.
No,
I just
because
watched
we do-
No,
I
because
just
you know what's
watched your
funny.
face.
I
You're gonna have to
started
take a
thinking.
break, though.
I started
No,
thinking.
but no. What
You can
was
cut.
your-
You cut. We're gonna go have.
Before-
Let's take a break.
before-
Give them song of the week first. So we'll continue this off camera.
Okay.
Patreon.
The moment I asked you that question, you were like,
But then you know what's crazy? I immediately.
thought not- what was your initial reaction?
Or like give a song of the week first. I'm
I
gonna
don't.
once we get
what do I say?
introduce
what?
it.
say it with energy. Let's go. Let's get it. We taking a break.
Song of the week.
So, okay. So this week's song of the week is my friend Noah. His song's Picture Perfect. The song's tough. I appreciate seeing him grow in his music, and I'm happy to share it with y'all.
And we'll be back after
We'll be
these short messages.
Now.
My life is picture perfect. That's with the negatives developed and the child support enveloped and never mailed. I never saw my father, but never thought of a male when he was brought up. That's why I'm caught up. Nowadays, my child ways got me forgiven. Making excuses, wondering how he was living. Absent father, yeah, but it's small, of course. It's not like him and my mom's was heading for a divorce. Maybe them staying linked was for the worse, but them apart was for the course. What type of sicko don't fight for his kid though? That's where it stopped for me. Like being a single nigga with child was obsolete, maybe just not with me. And I got an older brother who can't stand him, and my plans was to reunite every one of us and plan some day out where maybe we could say our piece and bury hatches and talk about why at 16 I carry matches and stuff them grams on the mattress. Shit, 3 baskets for the hat trick, you a trip, but name a nigga perfect, and we could still have that talk. I think it's worth it. Hey. But regardless, you know, my life is picture perfect. That's what the negatives developed in the narratives they sell us that got us so overzealous and elevating these idols. Cause our daddies left they zygotes and treated us just like typos. Yeah, My life is picture perfect. That's what the negatives developed in the narratives they sell us that got us so overzealous and elevating these idols. Cause our daddies left they zygotes and treated us just like typos. Yeah.
Like, yo, what the hell? Like, why did he do that? He called his friends. All his friends were upset. So I feel like, that was just like, why he do that? Like, it's just a bad show for
I know something. I know this will
younger
probably
generations.
this will probably not happen in my lifetime, but like I feel like something about society we got to do too is we got to get better. Like I think Asante said a couple episodes, not being so quick to care. Like I wish we would all hold off judgment until all the facts came out. Mm-hmm. Like once we know everything about the story, then we all could be like, okay.
Bro, the story changed 4 times in 2 hours. Oh, he didn't want to play because, I mean, he did that because they weren't going to let him play because he was playing against the Jets, and he was about to unlock $1 million bonus, and they didn't put him in the game, so he threw that tantrum, and it was, oh no, he wasn't going to get the money. That's why he was upset. And it's like, bro, it literally turned out to be a whole thing about an injury. Like I said, the outburst, I do not agree with throwing your shoulder pads in the stands and doing all that other stuff, but if that would have happened to me, I would have been on that sideline upset. So I can understand why he would have been on the sideline upset. I can't understand why he reacted that way.
Yeah, I think that was the
But
biggest
I can understand
thing.
why he was upset. That's something to be upset about. We are a top tier team. We're going to the playoffs. For a fact, it's clinched. It's locked. We're playing one of the worst teams in the NFL, and I do not need to be playing in this game.
And it sucks that it turned out like the guy's ankle's broken. This just get surgery.
He had mad damage in his ankle.
He had to
Mad
get surgery.
damage.
So like now you look like a jerk as a coach.
But to spin off of what you
He
said,
ended up being really injured.
Yeah, like surgery.
He has broken bone fragments. In
He has to get
Yeah.
surgery.
torn.
So if the same
Tendons and all this
scenario
stuff.
happened, but AB keeps on everything, he walks off the field, walks into the locker room, or jogs into the locker room with all his stuff on, and then just leaves the game. It's a different narrative.
But it's also
just,
crazy.
It's just the outburst. That's the problem.
But also crazy? If AB doesn't do what he does, then we, the public, never know that happens. And we know that situation happens to probably a lot of other players.
Absolutely.
Who been maybe got out the league that way, or maybe they were hurt, coach made them play. But now that happened to AB, now everyone's aware, like, oh shit, this shit really happens in NFL.
Having access to the media can be a weapon. And
He definitely
and a bomb
weaponized
for
it.
yourself as well.
Yeah.
Nigga,
But the sucks that
Marshawn Lynch used to take himself. If he felt like he was injured and he wasn't ready to come back, he was getting the cart himself and pulling up and sitting outside of practice. Like bro, there's certain people, and that's why he dropped it in a single. But his whole premise for the song, he dropped the song after the whole show.
Was it any good? I didn't listen to
No,
it.
he's not really good at making music, but he's as good as Le'Veon Bell is. But
I never heard him.
exactly. But his whole thing is he's like, bro, he's like, you can't treat me like I'm not already a person that has. AB has played in Super Bowls. He's gotten MVPs. Like he he's reached the pinnacle of success. Like they're trying to treat him like you're a first year guy. You need to stick through that pain, whatever. If Larry Fitz or if somebody that's like a respectable figure is on the field and they feel any type of discomfort and they play in a trash team and they ask to sit to the side, they're sitting them.
Yeah, and that's where I think like society does too much in playing God, bro. Because the reason AB could get treated like that is because of the public opinion on him. Like that's why he gets treated like that. You know what I'm saying? He gets treated like he's some lower class citizen because the media, because people, like the moment AB did something wrong, what is people saying? Oh, this guy got CTE. You just watched a 2-minute clip of a hour and a half conversation. Now you're gonna go on Twitter and tweet this. Look at AB acting like he got CTE, and now 100,000 people retweet it. Now a large percentage of people believe that, but not 1% of them actually went and watched the whole hour and a half video.
I wanted to come back to the point where you said it earlier when you said like people need to make judgments not in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with my mom the other day. And I've been on
we name dropped again.
Chris, you can
I
have.
didn't even say her name.
Chris,
But you said mom. We know who mom is.
Chris, stop. You
I-
can say names
You
on the
gonna bleep
podcast.
my auntie out.
I don't know
I was
why you're
having a
doing
nice sit down with my conversation with my mother. We talked for like an hour. We was talking about movies and shows. So it was a good conversation. I like to let everyone know I was talking to my mother. So, but I was getting into like Netflix documentaries and shit that I've been into. And I've been watching like a bunch of the like crime series docs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And we were talking about how like one of the things, it was like the 24 Faces of Somebody, where the guy was like developing personalities. I'm not gonna like spoil it.
Yeah.
But essentially, like, he was killing people, and he had people who like live next door, like on the news, swearing like, "Oh, he would never do such a thing. He's not that type of person." I always go to say like, I will never say anything about anybody like that because you don't know all the facts. Like,
No.
I can't speak on something until I know. Like, I wasn't there for that. I don't know what this person does. Like, everybody and everything that you see is not what you see. Like, things are a certain way. So these are people who like went on the news and were like swearing, and then they had that person listening to their own testimony, and like the guy was just like, "I can't believe I said that. Like, I think before I speak now," and all this other stuff. But I was just like, I've heard so many situations where people were just like, "Oh, that person would never do something like that," or "I can't believe." I'm just like, why is it so hard to believe that a person did something crazy? People
Bro, and
do
that's
stuff
like
crazy.
that's just like
Why
the
is
whole
it so
Tory
hard to believe
situation.
that? Yeah.
It's like when the news first came out, everyone automatically assumed that he was automatically guilty and Megan was 100% for a fact telling the truth. I'm not saying to say she's lying. I'm here to say we don't know. Because now every time something comes out, everyone's like, I don't know. You just don't know. Like, just be okay with saying, I don't know.
It's not your fucking business. That's what you should
You know,
do.
a wise man once said nothing at all. Like,
Yeah.
Okay
just-
with saying nothing.
Because
Like,
I feel like people don't want to be right. They just want to be the first. So you don't have to be necessarily like, and that's a big thing with news too. I took a last semester I took a course where we were basically doing like a screenwriting.
Weird flex.
Yeah, shut up. But we were doing like screenwriting, and then we were learning how to write for TV and radio. That was the course. And our professor, she was the lead anchor for RIP to Files One News, but that's not a thing no more. But she was
what?
Files One.
It's not a thing anymore?
Nah, they changed it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she got a job at a different network. I don't know where she's at now. Actually, should check on LinkedIn. But yeah, she told us, she was like, oftentimes she was like, different media outlets, like there's certain media outlets that their jobs are to bring news with integrity, right? That it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. It just matters that enough people put in the due diligence that this information can be speculated to be correct. And then there's people that just report things immediately just so they could be the first to report it. So she was saying that what the problem is with the people that just want to report first is that you have to do so many redactions. You have to reach out to people to make sure, like, all right, hey, we know we might have offended you, but we just, we're putting out this and cite the sources they got it from. And it's she's saying like it's so much mess that you have to backtrack each time. Like, yeah, sometimes you might report on something early and it might be correct and you be like, we're Gucci. But she was saying like in that
like TMZ, right, with Lil Wayne.
Yeah, like that facet of news. Like, bro, so many defamation of character lawsuits, so many lawsuits that just like slander and just so many different things, bro, that you have to deal with. And like people still work in that business because it's a lucrative business and because it's not our job to be right, but we're going to say it first because we're going to show that like, oh, this is a network to come to because you're going to get the first scoop. And then you can take this speculation and you start creating your own speculation. And then your friends pass it to their friends. And now everybody has their own pot that they're mixing up. But it's like, bro, you need for the information to be correct. And then from that information, you deduce what you think might have or might have not happened with the facts in front of you.
So
people will have no facts in front of them, see just a blank canvas, and just start writing their own story.
So
like
watch
it's
this.
like we're in school with the fucking prompts.
So do you believe that that a body organization should regulate the news to make sure that they don't do that?
No.
Because one, it's freedom of speech. It's supposed to be.
But is
what if somebody has control of that body?
So what is it? But is it still freedom of speech to say, like, when, for instance, TMZ was like, Lil Wayne has died?
It's all
They can do that, but
listen.
it's not ethical.
It's all consumption. The same way there shouldn't be a regulation to say Burger King can't sell food because we know it's bad for people. We can regulate what they sell, but we still know it's bad for you.
Yeah.
Just like we can regulate what TMZ puts out, but most of the stuff is still speculations and just blog shit.
Yeah.
So it's your job as a consumer to say, I'm not going to eat Burger King seven times a week.
Yep.
I can get all my food from this source and then maybe go to this source to indulge a little bit. Like, yeah, I can get my information from actual sources and then maybe I might scroll Shade Room on a lunch break or something like that.
Yep.
Just to see what all the speculations or the hubbub is about. You feel me? But you shouldn't, you as an adult or you as a person, you should be mindful of the things that you're consuming, whether it be media, whether it be food, whether it be whatever, because it's your job. Just like your stomach, your food. I mean, the food for your brain, the stuff that you're throwing up there. That's things that you're gonna put out to other people. So I don't want to read a news article and the news article say like, "Oh, the queen died," right? And then now I'm going to somebody to say something, and I'm not even checking to see if the shit was correct or not because of whatever reason, and now I just said something to somebody that's wrong.
Yep. So you believe in free markets?
Yeah.
Me too.
But you'd be surprised at how many. I was watching something. I forget what the guy's name is, so I won't even say it. But I came across a random video on Facebook, and this guy was like pretty much trolling. And it's funny because it's like a white guy pandering at a Trump rally, and
Ask Trump supporters that it's a
something like that.
It's
But
a series.
It was
Yeah.
hilarious because he was like asking the lady like, "Oh, where do you get your facts from?" And she's like, they were going on about like adamant, like, "Oh, do this, do this." He was like, "Well, did you read this?" She's like, "No." He's like, "Well, did you read this?" She's like, "No." And everything they're yelling for, like, "Oh, check the case." Like, he's like, "If you look,"
That might be the one that might be the one that I sent in the chat.
You know what's even
that shit's
so?
hilarious.
This I was listening to a psychiatrist. He was giving a lecture. He was talking about this.
Oh, your name dropping?
I said
You're
psychiatrist.
gonna tell his field?
I said, "Mom."
So psychiatrist, bro. He was talking about how like he was talking about group identity, group politics. So like people like even though that's hilarious and it is funny, right? But there's people who think that category of person, like the ignorant, doesn't know anything, super biased person, is on the other side. Like they vote for Trump. That's how all Trump supporters are. But they don't realize that same category of person is also in their group. So, but they don't know that. Like we could say for sure, but the way group identity works, when you pick a group, like say you identify with a group. This is why politics have been polarized so much. It's just human nature. We automatically assume the group that we chose to be a part of has all these great qualities, and the other side is the enemy. They have all these bad qualities. So people who are really with their political party truly believe that their political party is the smart, know what they're talking about. If you're a liberal, you're the morally right. And if you're conservative, and all conservatives are right. Like all those things. And conservatives think that, oh, we're the logical, we're the smart ones. The other side is dumb. But they don't realize, no, bro, like that same category of person is on your group. Like you could walk up to the average, like if someone's like going to Biden line, and someone did that with a Biden line and started asking questions, they would look just as stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, and that's, I mean, the first extreme analogy that came to my mind was like, I know during the whole like police brutality thing going fat.
Yeah.
I know a bunch of my friends who were like saying different things about shooting people and killing cops and doing stuff like that, where really like one was on one side and one was on the other side, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't agree with either side of that.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not a person where it's like I wholeheartedly believe on either sides.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think either one is really for me.
Yeah.
But that's just my personal opinion. So like, I don't put my faith in anything like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So like, I definitely think like, no matter what it is, anything on one side is always gonna have some negative.
Yeah.
It's like I'm vegan, but I eat I eat pasta and potatoes all day, and that's better for me than your rounded diet with a little bit of meat in it. It's like, no, if you're gonna be vegan, be a proper vegan, bro.
What is it, people that drinking shore?
No, stop. Some people in this room
No,
might be.
I do drink
offended.
insurers. No.
That's it. You don't eat like
No.
No.
He means like people that only drink
No,
insurance.
No. I just mean
drink
like only.
insurers.
Oh, them
Just-
things are banging.
No,
Oh.
just because I'm trying to gain weight. I'm like in that process right now. So now I don't eat meat again. So now I'm like going crazy on like
You know what you need to eat?
fish and
Fish
rice
is
and
banging.
beans
You know what you need to eat a lot of?
and insurers. What?
You about to wow out?
No.
Nuts.
See, I'm media trained. I'm politically correct.
Legumes.
You should eat a lot of almonds. You should eat a lot of walnuts. You should eat a lot of those category of foods
Yeah, I do.
and avocados.
Yeah, I eat a
Brazilian
lot
See,
of nuts.
I could have said it.
Well,
Could have said it. I didn't though. You know what that's called?
Brazilian nuts are
Chordy.
good.
Yeah, they're very fatty, like as far as like content and protein.
So, actually, one of my friends' mom has
still
a
the
milk
same.
machine,
That's
and she
tough.
yeah, she makes her own milk, and she makes like a
Wait.
out
Oh,
of like nuts,
The nuts.
Yeah.
Right. I
Nuts,
was just thinking, like, how the hell
oats.
she make her own? That's dope.
nuts, oats, like for real, you can make it out of anything.
That's
Can you
tough.
find out the name of that one? 'Cause I might
Yeah.
Janelle made her own
I think it's
her
like
own
milk.
almond milk.
I gotta go stop
Milk
at.
Mama
cow.
does
If I
that
have
with,
time,
like,
I gotta go over there.
Blender, but like if she has them, there's actually a machine for it.
I need to get that.
You put
And
in the
it's not that
cheesecloth,
expensive.
let
Yeah.
it drip.
I'm allergic to nuts. I can't even.
All of them?
Literally,
The big ones or small ones?
all of them.
You're not allergic
Every
to
single
peanuts.
Peanuts are not a nut. It's a legume. It's like the same family as beans.
So you're not allergic? You're allergic to nuts?
Peanuts is the only thing I'm not
But
allergic
you're
to. It's not a-
allergic
it's
to
not a nut.
peanuts, right?
I'm allergic to every almonds, cashews,
Walnuts?
pecans, walnuts,
Brazil nuts?
We
I've never
we
tried a
swap
Brazil nut.
Pine nut?
allergies. Like he's
Yes.
allergic to shrimp. I love shrimp. I'm allergic to cashews.
I haven't tried a Brazil
I eat
nut, but
cashews. He's allergic.
I'm allergic to everything else, so I'm gonna try it.
I'm allergic to
You're
peanuts.
allergic
He's
to
not.
all seafood or just shrimp?
Just shellfish.
I'm not allergic to anything.
So it's like
Well, I'm
all
lactose. I'm
seafood.
allergic to milk.
Fish.
Oh,
I mean, there's a lot of fish. I
Yeah.
love fish.
Can you guys drink milk? You guys drink milk?
Honestly, like my parents cut that off in 1999. So
Yeah.
This nigga know the exact day. He know the exact day, year, time, the last time he had a cup of milk.
Y2K's coming. No more meat.
Nah, I mean it was around an important time, so that's how I remember.
Yeah.
We changed our diet, and I've had like a milkshake or two, but I've yet to actually like drink like a straight cup of milk.
I
You
love
know,
milk.
75% of African Americans are truly lactose intolerant.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
It's not built for our stomachs.
I definitely.
I can
believe
fuck
it.
with a strawberry Nesquik though. I ain't gonna hold you.
I don't feel good.
Yeah, but they say
after I drink the
Europeans,
milk, but
because of their history with it,
I'm
are
not
slightly more
drinking
adapted
anything
to
with
it.
milk in it if I ain't gonna be home for a little while. It's like that
Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
start catching you.
OD.
Yeah.
Not with that.
That's
I
dope.
looked at a strawberry Nesquik and it was like the morning time I was grabbing a bagel before work. Like, do I really want to start off my day like this?
Gutty booty.
Nah, I'm gonna pass on that.
I haven't had a cup of milk in God. Actually, when I went to DR, I wanted to taste the milk, the difference in milk. I just tasted it. I didn't even drink the whole thing. I just tasted it, but
Tasting different?
I didn't want it at all. It's just like, even though like sometimes I go back and eat meat, there's two things I can't do: eggs and milk.
Eggs.
I can't do it. Like if you give me a boiled egg right now, it'll probably make me want to throw
But
up.
like, what about like scrambled omelet?
I'm
You
not
eat
that.
egg whites?
No, like if you gave me especially a boiled egg, like I taste it, I would probably throw up.
I don't really do boiled egg anymore. That was the thing I did growing up. I'm not saying I don't like it, but it's like I was really talking to my girl with that the other day. She'll boil an egg. I'm not gonna wake up to boil an egg. Like,
Yeah,
if I'm not
I
gonna have
eat
time to
boiled
make
eggs.
scrambled eggs, I'm not doing this shit.
I don't think the origin of things bother me as much as they used to.
do you mean?
When I was younger, and I figured out like what cheese was, my dad's like, "Yeah, it's a fungus."
It's like the.
I'm like,
it's
"What?
Like
I can't eat cheese now."
You know when you pop
and my
a
mom
pimple?
told me what an egg was. I'm like, "What? I'm not eating that. That's a dead baby. That's an unborn baby."
But you ever seen
Now
that-
I'm just like, I don't really
you,
care.
you know what throws me off?
Everything's grown in dirt. Things come out of things.
See, listen, don't compare. You ever seen a picture of like the embryo?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is
Do
disgusting.
you know it's a delicacy that they
Fish eggs.
No, they pick eggs that are almost about to be born, where
Yeah, no, chill. Let's get past that one. So
it's like a quail egg, and they crack the top and suck the baby out with all the embryo and the placenta and stuff.
They sound like snakes.
That shit's weird.
Is that
See?
where do they eat that at?
I caught it.
I saw it on a show recently.
Let me guess. Asia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That'd be my first guess.
Weird shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, that has.
is that racist?
No, it's customary for their culture to eat
No,
things like
they
that.
eat everything.
I heard they eat monkey brains out there.
They ate
I
one.
can
Bobby
see
Lee
that
ate
now.
one on Bad Friends too. Yeah.
What it taste like?
He opened it and he started
One
gagging.
of, one of my friends,
Christian. Oh my gosh.
they eat. I've seen them.
It's crazy.
I've seen them
Nuts.
eat fish eggs.
Caviar.
Like, yeah, like black. I'm like, yo, y'all
I
really
had
just
caviar
throwing
in
back
VR.
fish eggs.
It was red though.
That's really expensive.
I only ate like two
Yeah.
of them just to taste it. I only ate two of them. Like
Oh,
two
I
little
can't
ones
do
just
it.
to taste it.
I can't do
tasted
it. I
weird,
can't do
had a
it.
weird texture. I'm good.
Like I do draw a line. I draw a line at a line. I draw a line at Rocky Mountain oysters, which is bull testicles fried.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait.
so
I'm thinking-
like baked is okay.
No, I'm saying like shit like that, like testicles. I'm drawing a line at
Are you allergic to those
I
nuts
draw a
too?
line at being fried,
Are
but
you
them
allergic
bad
to-
boys is sauteed.
Are you allergic?
seafood?
Amani, are you allergic to those nuts too?
Certain seafood.
I don't know. All right, we ain't gonna
Like
find out either.
calamari, I'm not doing it. Clams, I'm not.
I like calamari.
Anything that looks too slimy.
Yeah, he's tripping on that one.
Anything that's slimy, no.
You ever had fried calamari?
I did
Go
on
to
accident.
go to the Cheesecake Factory.
No.
They got this.
You're allergic to that too?
Yeah, I ate it a couple times and my tongue started itching.
Yeah,
And I didn't know what it was when I ate it.
Anything that was slimy when it was alive, I'm not eating
It's
it.
disgusting. No.
Anything that was slimy when it was alive, I'm not eating it. I'll eat
Yeah,
shrimp.
like
I'll eat fish.
oysters.
I'll eat crab, lobster.
Mussels.
That's it.
I love shrimp.
I'm not a big fan of shrimp anymore.
I'm not.
love
I'm
all
not
seafood.
eating
You know
mussels.
what kind of got me off?
Yeah.
I'm not
I know
eating sea urchin.
I
I'm
know
not
space
eating.
have
No,
those,
lobster I can't do,
fried
crab I can't do.
oysters.
Huh? Escargot?
Shit
I'm
looks
not
like
doing
a
it.
booger though.
No, it's so good though.
When's the last time you
But
had
it looks
crab?
Like, like
You
it
crab?
looks
Yeah.
like a mucusy.
Because I forgot who told me. It might have been uncle.
Explain how you can
Or maybe I
enjoy
saw it
that
on
taste
video.
profile.
I don't
Just the
know,
sea
it's
roach
just
thing
like,
Gets me.
Have you ever tried it? Well, you
It really starts to get me. The sea roach.
You
They're
can't
bottom
eat any
feeders.
of it.
They
But
both
then-
look exactly.
Yeah, they do look just like a
Yeah,
roach.
I mean,
Like, you ever seen
it
a
doesn't
roach
taste
and then
bad.
seen like a
It's
lobster
like
alive?
seasoned
It looks the same
well.
thing.
It
Same
tastes
man.
good.
Same animal.
They're a part. They're literally a part of the same
I
family.
love seafood.
They're warm
Yeah.
insects.
Chris, you do oysters?
They used
No,
to
I
give
don't
lobster
either.
to prisoners.
You ever had
What?
one?
They used to give lobster to prisoners.
Then
And-
it.
In certain part of the country.
And now it's a delicacy.
Then they was in the mess hall talking about some. These niggas is stupid. This shit is slap. Then they want to reverse it. Now you want to give us the intestines,
But how did-
and you take the lobster. It's crazy.
I
You
eat
know what's
fried
oh.
oysters.
Oh,
You
Fried
eat?
oysters are really good.
Nah, I ain't doing it.
I could do like a fried Oreo.
I knew it was gonna go there because
I'm
I thought
dead.
about the same shit.
Yeah, like a fried oyster though.
Which one of my friends was
But
it?
I mean, that might change. the
One of my
texture,
friends said
so-
frog legs taste like chicken wings. I said fuck no.
I heard alligator
Frog
tastes
You
like
ate it?
legs?
No, I would though.
I've eaten shark.
shark. What does it taste like?
Fishy. It tastes like fish.
Nice.
That's
I'm a big
not
fish guy. I love fish. I don't eat it a lot.
I try
But
alligator.
when I do, I'd be very
I try
satisfied.
alligator. Anything that's really an apex predator, I'd eat it just to let it know. Bitch, you're on my plate. All right. Shark, yeah, big bag, yeah.
You ever
I
had?
just had you in a
Stand
fucking
this
taco.
nigga.
You ever had lion?
Huh?
You ever had lion?
No,
I
I
don't
think
you
that's
can eat
illegal.
lion. That's fucked up.
But you know what's
That's
even
like eating
crazier?
a
Please do not admit to eating lion on there.
That's
Oh,
like, that's
so
like
you-
eating a dog.
you know what's crazy?
Exotic
You don't do
meat.
that.
Because
Chris
on
is like,
exotic meat.
Chris, like you ever had bald eagle?
But you know what's even more boss though? How in Ethiopia,
Boss?
They-
What do you mean, 93?
yeah, I had the docs on today. I want to say, you know what I'm saying, boss shit. That in Ethiopia they walk with the lions.
Yeah.
So they didn't even eat it; they tamed it. That's different.
No, that's tough.
Nah, but it's certain. It's just, I feel like there's certain things you just can't eat.
Yeah.
Would you eat a human?
No.
You ever heard the story of the guy who?
How hungry would you have to be?
Nah, you ever heard the story of the guy?
About to die.
Like if I'm stranded on an island somewhere, I don't know.
No, I'm about to give
If
you.
I'm stranded on an island somewhere and there's no food and it's like,
I'm about to give you a hypothetical story.
Yeah. How do you decide who to eat?
The person that's dead.
Person dies first.
Person that's dead.
We can all make an agreement.
Amani said eating them cheeks first.
Yeah. All right.
If we're in an island and if we're on a stranded island together,
It seems like the
Chop him off and let him float away.
no, I think that we're on an island together. The first person to die, we can all agree like you can eat me.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
I'd say just leave my face.
But what if we're
Yeah,
about
just
to
leave my head so they can
So,
like plant me in the ground somewhere. just
what if
like-
we had
wanna
one
be
day?
somewhere.
What if you had one day and one day you guys all was gonna starve, right?
Uh-huh.
But someone was kind of like, they weren't dead yet. But if you didn't eat them, in that day you guys all would die, or you could kill them, and you guys could live. But they were like, even if they ate, they're not gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? They're weak. They're down.
I mean, you sound like you want to eat him.
I'm asking a question.
I'm just saying.
I'm asking a question. What would y'all do? Honestly, we don't know because
I
when
don't
you,
know if I would eat a person.
I think we would. When you get hungry enough to go back to your old savage ways mentality back when you didn't have nothing.
Somebody got to tell our story.
But I've had something before.
What?
Like, I don't know.
You've
Like,
had
I
human
think-
before?
No, I haven't had human before. But like,
I'm gonna get up.
I've known what it's like to be like, I don't know. I don't know.
Like for death type thing?
No, not life or death.
Were you on
but,
an
like,
island for a week and no one knew?
No. I'm just saying, I don't think I would eat a person.
Give me
Like-
this. What about this situation? Say, I got my foot amputated, right? And in the hospital, I'm like, yo, freeze this. And I'm like, yo, guys, I got my amputated foot. I'm gonna cook it. We all eat it.
First of all,
I'm not gonna
there's
hold
barely
you.
any meat in the foot.
If you died and we on a stranded island, I'm not eating your feet.
Think about it. I gotta
I'm not
get.
eating
I,
chicken feet, and I like.
I gotta
chicken,
get through the tendons.
I'm not
I gotta
eating
get through your
Nah,
toenails.
I'm gonna chop it up.
No.
I'm making.
Nah.
Nah.
I'm gonna chop it up, make it nice.
I don't know why you want niggas eating you,
Yeah, that's
but
what
I'm
I'm
off
saying.
it,
You
bro.
a
I
freak,
s-
bro.
I'm
no,
not a freak. I'm just
no,
saying.
no means no,
Trying
Christian.
to slip his toes getting sucked on for no reason.
It's a
Weirdo.
it's a what if. It's a what if. Jace, that was
Come on,
wild.
come on, watch
That was
this.
wild. Like, Jace just-
And I feel like this.
I would be like, bro, you're walling.
I saw this show. I forgot it was a cartoon. That shit was hilarious. But they were stranded on the island, right? There's two people. They're like, oh, we need something to eat, whatever, basically. And there was no, there was no anything they could the foliage or anything that they could pick fruit from, and there's no habitants of any animals or anything and stuff like that. So the guy's like, all right, he's like, I'll cut off one of my legs, and we can eat this leg, and if we don't survive, we'll use it to survive. And he's like, if we don't survive, basically, then you have to cut off yours, and we'll just do that until we get discovered or whatever. So the dude cut off one of his legs. They ate the leg or whatever, and by the time it was done, they still weren't discovered or whatever. So it's time to get another leg. So the dude's like, you gotta cut off your leg now, and he's like, nah. He's like, I cut off my leg already, and he's like, I could really just take your other one. You already got one leg. It's physically, there's nothing you can do to stop me from taking that other leg.
I'm not gonna lie. If I was in that situation, I feel like I'd rather cut my arm off before my leg. You lose your legs,
facts.
you lose your mobility, all that good stuff.
It makes no sense.
You're not swimming back.
Mad meat right here though.
Yeah,
This quarter right here.
I agree with that.
That's
but
that you can make a brisket
Survival-wise,
sandwich.
yeah.
All that, man. All that from right there.
Why-
Little money, get a little
why not
calf
go
in
they
there.
was skinny.
So if you're
They ain't had no thighs.
Calf nuggets.
question, we're on a stranded island. Us four, right? Stranded island.
Why you kick her out?
Oh shit! I counted 4. You know what's crazy? I went us 4 and counted
Wow.
everybody.
Even your subconscious.
No, I just didn't count right.
Jeez, Jace.
See, I just didn't count
I
right.
appreciate it.
See, that's called perspective.
Doesn't see women.
We
See,
all know.
you know what's crazy, Lay?
Chris
Why
hates
didn't no
women.
one automatically
It's okay.
assume that I didn't cut them out? So who's really the one with the fucked up
you pointed at
perspective?
everybody.
No, I went like this.
You pointed
I
at
went
the
like
4
this.
people.
No,
You said us four.
no, I didn't. Run y'all, they
Run
lying.
the tape. Run the tape.
You got, and this is what happened to AB. This was a depiction on our show what happened to AB. But as I was saying, us 5 are on an island. 1, 2, 3, 4. Us 5, I counted right. We're on an island, and we need to get food. What's the first thing you do?
Find
where you are.
find running water.
Yeah.
Yeah, water's pretty important, I think, first.
And by water, there'll be animals if there's animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say animals.
Cool. I was gonna say go fishing, but
I'm gonna big myself up. I remember in 4th grade, one time my teacher, she hooked her laptop up to the projector, and we had to play this game where it's how Clash of Clans is and shit. You have to pick a civilization, and you have to make pivotal decisions, and if it's all right, boom, you decided to put the crops over there, but the crops over there that soil wasn't fertile, so now your whole thing died out. So she let people go up and make their own decisions or whatever. Bro, I got up there at 0.5. Flourished. My community flourished. Mad people starved. Mad people put their stuff away from the land, so the
can't remember that
irrigation
game.
system was too far and stuff like that. I put my people by the land because I remember them telling me like how they fucked up in Jamestown. I'm like, all right, these niggas were by no water. Then they spent mad time building this big ass fortress, and they like if you don't have food to eat, you can't just be building a bunch of stuff all day. The men got weak, the men got sick, they died, whatever. So I put them by the water. I used limited like build up stuff, just like stuff to keep people from the natural elements. And then I forgot what the other options were, but anything that was like minimal, that was like a small compound effect. Like in those societies, if you try to go too big, your society's done.
You know what's being first is really a hell of a thing.
Yeah.
Because the person who goes first doesn't get to see the errors of everyone who went before them. So like the first person who
Being
came to
able go
America.
first is a talent though, because I was literally gonna say like, so you say you asked this question like, oh, what would you do first? What would you do first? What would you do first? There's so many people that don't understand what to do first or how to take the first step. Like they literally couldn't process that situation.
See,
You know what I'm saying?
that's why I never understood when we learned in school about companies, right? Mm-hmm. And not like modern day companies. I mean like Lewis and Clark's exploration company, like those types of companies. And it would be like, oh, they'd go on a voyage and they'd figure out new land and they'd come back with spoils and this and that. And like, I'm looking at y'all return rate. Y'all left with 20 people. Y'all came back with 3 niggas. I'm not going on this next trip with y'all. I got a better chance of being one of those 17 than I do this.
But you know
trip.
what's funny? For some people are more risk adverse. So in their head, they're thinking, I'm gonna go, and I guarantee I'll be one of those 3 that come back and I'll be rich as hell. Some people think that way.
I'm off it.
But the people who thought that way, they did it. That's the thing.
High reward.
Yeah.
Ready to wrap?
I think this episode should be called Yin and Yang, because we started off having a lot of fun, somehow got deep, ended up having fun again. I think that's a good balance of life. Gotta have a lot of fun.
Now we gotta get deep again.
No, we don't gotta get deep again.
That's not balance. It's 2 funs and 1 deep.
But the amount of...
What is your biggest fear in life?
2 funds. 2 funds.
This has been another episode of Demigod Chronicles. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you guys for tuning in each week. Follow everybody on their social medias at cv.lopez, at Alasia Ashley when she's available.
I'm not shouting my social media out.
At Alasia Ashley when she's available, because she's exclusive like a sneaker drop, and she is
Not available.
Not available.
she's not available, guys.
Wah, 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 wah.
Sorry. Check back in next episode. And at _ in Amani zone.
Why?
Huh? You said you're not shouting it out. You didn't say I couldn't. Come on, I'm your little brother. I gotta do some annoying shit. And at J Squat. Follow us at the DGC _ on Twitter and at the Demigod Chronicles _ on Instagram, and follow myself at _ Demigod _ and mastered _ studio, MSTRD _ studio spelled with a V. Thank you for tuning into another episode. New year, we getting back into the swing of things. We got some fun content coming you guys' way. We got us a nice new little camera and all that. So definitely expect some more content, some new fun ways. Anybody else wanna?
I just wanted to add 3 more underscores to all the underscores you said.
For your ad name?
No, for yours.
Why?
You said mad underscores.
Oh, niggas busting
They
in Garfield?
shooting.
You see, I'm not worried about it. This is I experience this daily. You see, I didn't even jump.
Oh my god! All right, we out of here. Hit the people since
I'm
minutes.
not worried about it.
And Clay Thompson come back tonight. Go
No
watch
estoy
that game.
preocupo para nada.
Yeah.
Yo no tengo problemas. Yo no tengo nada. Yo no tengo... That's it.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. We out of here. Bow.